INFJs have the stillness of an ISFP with the warmth of an ENFJ. And so INFJs are often, seen as like the very like mystical types, and this is due to their introverted intuition being a dominant function, which is very responsible for them being able to peer into their own mind, and from understanding their own mind and the relevancies that are there, the pattern of their own mind, they can also usually understand other people's minds, and then this helps them to be able to future pace and understand things along those lines. But this also means that they might not really be analyzing a lot of things about how they feel, which is how a lot of times they can be confused for INFPs and ISFPs who are more focused on their introverted feelings, so like how they feel about things, and not necessarily more about like how other people feel about things. So whilst INFJs are more focused on how other people might feel about things due to their extroverted feeling. And so this is also a lot of times why they can become confused as well with ENFJs who have the same functions. So one thing about the INFJs though is that extroverted sensing being an inferior function, that makes them way slower to jump into action, because like the INTJ, they're always like they're kind of like uncomfortable with the external world, and so they have to let me revisit the playbook, and sometimes the right time just never comes for them. So these are the people that might be like very paralyzed, or they might be looking into the future and thinking of all the possible ways that maybe something might be able to go wrong or how they can combat that. And a lot of times they just need to jump into action, or they need to start talking to people so that they can get their ideas and their visions refined. And they might have insights on the human mind and everything, but then if they're not engaging with more people, then they're not able to actually build more of their pattern recognition and being able to see, okay, is what I believe about humans actually true when I engage with these humans? And so INFJs, a lot of times they tend to be also seen as intellectuals, and again, due to that introverted thinking, they can be very logical minded, and so that's another reason as to why they might think that they're thinkers a lot of times, when in actuality it's just that tertiary TI. They also again are not really in tune with their bodies, and so for this reason they might be very slow to jump into action once again, and they might not, they might let themselves go. They might not really have an affinity for style a lot of times, but again, this is just generally speaking, and that affinity for style might come later, and it's something that I've seen a lot of INFJs take pride on after they've noticed, oh my goodness, I haven't really paid attention to this thing for aesthetics, and so now they try to strengthen that weaker spot for them, as most of us tend to do with our inferior functions. And these are just some ways on how you can identify an INFJ both in real life and in fiction.